Hello guys, so I received this Philips curved 34-inch monitor and I wanted to make a review of it. The model name is 346P1CRH and you also find this in like two other versions with a different model name. This is the cheaper one, but other monitors are basically the same, so you could use this review for those as well. But they are a little bit more expensive, and the one up from this got a USB-C input as well with charging capabilities of up to 90 watts, so you can like use your monitor as a docking station. And the other one also have the USB-C and also a built-in web camera, but all of them are basically the same monitor. When going in more to the specs of this monitor, the resolution is 3440 pixels times 1440 vertical pixels, so that is like the common resolution for these wide angle 34 curved inch displays. And the aspect ratio is 21:9. It's like the same aspect ratio that you would find in like movies and such. So looking at movie, you will really like it having a screen like this, but also for office tasks and gaming, I really prefer this, and other people that I've talked to really also like this kind of aspect ratio. You will maybe find cheaper monitors that have a vertical resolution of 1080p, but that is nothing that I would recommend, even though you could save some money. But I don't really think there's too many of them sold at the moment. This monitor uses a VA type of display, and a VA display is like the common type of display used in these kind of monitors, and for office work it works perfectly. A VA display is not the brightest, and in this case this monitor is 300 nits, so it's somewhere nicely in between. It's not like super bright, but it's not dull either. The contrast ratio is 1 to 3000. It's like between light and dark spots, so that is also nice. And the colors aren't like really popping here, but you can set it to sRGB. But if you want to have higher brightness than 80%, you can change it to 6500 Kelvin and not use the sRGB colors, but I think it looks very nice either way. The input lag is 5 milliseconds. It's not like super great, but for office work, yeah, you wouldn't need any more than that. The lower the better. My previous 34-inch gaming screen that I bought was actually 8 milliseconds of input lag, and I didn't really notice going down to like 3-4 milliseconds or 1 milliseconds for that matter. So 5 milliseconds on this one is more than good enough, and VA displays, and this is like the normal for a VA display as well, and you can game perfectly fine with this kind of input lag. The update frequency on the screen is 100 Hz, so that is also more than enough for office works. It's like how many times the picture is updating each second, so like 100 at the maximum if your computer like can handle that. So for like writing and searching the web, that is really an overkill, but it's more like when it comes to gaming and overall like smoothness, pulling things over the screen, a higher frequency will like make the picture more clear to you. And for me, I can't really notice the difference 100 Hz to like 134 Hz. Maybe if we were to like look at the performance of my like gaming, let's say that, maybe it's a little bit better, or yeah, I have a easier time like tracking things, but yeah, I can't really feel the difference myself, or when I look at it, the difference between 100 Hz and 144 Hz, which my better gaming screen is at. And 100 Hz is more than good enough, I would say, for gaming as well. It's a big difference going from like 60 up to 100 Hz, and so it could be higher, but it's more than good enough. The screen also got a built-in speaker, a 5-watt system, so it's not like super loud or not a lot of bass, but it's fairly high sound, so I really liked using it for like watching YouTube videos, and yeah, just not having to put on my headset all the time when I just wanna watch or listen to something. But I wouldn't like use it for gaming, but some small tasks, that is very nice. And we also got a built-in USB hub as well in the monitor. When it comes to the overall look of the monitor, this definitely is more of a office type of monitor, but I would be very happy like receiving this from my workplace to use in my home office, and then we can do some light gaming at night. It's like perfect for both cases. But as we can see, it got this brushed aluminium look, and the bottom lip there, it's not like super thick, but it's noticeably bigger than other monitors that I've had before. I'm not like an overly big fan of the overall design of this monitor, but yeah, it works well. And there's also like this light sensor here in the front, so you can have the screen dim with the brightness in your room and such, to save energy or put less strain on your eyes if you are sensitive to such things. And that is maybe, when it comes to power saving, it's maybe a good beneficial thing if you were to like install a lot of this monitor in a big office space. But yeah, I like to have the monitor performing its best most of the times, and if I'm very tired I can manually adjust down the brightness. It's got a lot of like tilting function. You can tilt it, there's a good height adjustment as well, and you also can like swivel it or turn it 360 degrees, I believe, around as well. So I really like the base of it, even though I'm not really a big fan of how it looks. When it comes to input, this one got like this USB hub, and it also got 2 HDMI ports and 1 display port, and the power brick is like built into the monitor, which I like, because then we don't have to fiddle around with the extra power supply on our table. So I tested my monitor against a 144 Hz 34-inch screen from the panel is made by Samsung, and here we can see the ghosting on that one at 144 Hz. And switching to the Philips monitor, it's not like any worse to me. So when it comes to ghosting and such, I would say this is like perfectly normal for a VA display. So yeah, it looks fairly nice. When it comes to input lag, I'm not sure if how I set up my PC. It maybe seems to be a little bit slower on the Philips monitor, and I'm not really sure if this is a valid way of testing it, and if I've like set the monitor correctly when having both of these switched into the PC. As we can see, like the Philips monitor like lags a little bit behind the 144 Hz display, but that also got a lower input lag as well, at like 3 to 4 milliseconds, so that maybe changes a little bit. But I also wanted to like draw the lines or switch or move these bars around to maybe see how the update frequency is. You will see that in the slow-mo it will be a little bit smoother on 144 Hz, but 100 Hz also is a fairly high update frequency, so you shouldn't really have any problems with this monitor as well. So the monitor on the left is the Samsung display one, and on the right is the Philips one. And when it comes to bleeding, I would say that the Philips performs really well. It's really nice and even, and the Samsung display I have is more like a Amazon special. It's not sold by Samsung, even though they use a Samsung display or behind there, but I would guess it's like a lower like bin number. The Philips display is 300 nits, so it's not like super bright, and comparing it to the Samsung display one, that one is 350 nits, so it's a little bit brighter, but when looking at both of them picture to picture at like showing videos and such, I think both of them look really well. The Samsung one is HDR 400, so it's a little bit brighter picture and such, but the difference there isn't too large. The upgrade, I would say, from going from the Philips screen, then you would probably have to go up to like a nano IPS display from like LG, and not another VA display, because the Philips display, for being a VA display, performs really nice, and a nano IPS display from like LG, that costs at least 2 times as much as this. So we can see overall, when set to standard settings and 100% brightness, the picture on the Philips one is a little bit more dull. I wouldn't really look too much in the colors in this review here, because both of them are set a little bit differently, and I don't really have the equipment to like measure how they are able to show you the colors and such. But yeah, just looking at them at the video and showing videos, yeah, I can see the difference between each display, but I really like them both, and really nice and clear picture, and I wouldn't really mind using this Philips display over the other display that I was showing you. And when it also comes to user interface, it's just super easy to learn, and the buttons are large and big, so it's just click on it and you will learn it really fast. So overall, I wouldn't say this is a monitor that I'm like overly excited for, but if I were to like choose a monitor and this fitted me, I wouldn't really like hesitate buying it, because it is a good product. When it comes to price and such, I wouldn't really say it's like a super competitive price. It's not like, oh, it's super cheap, you should just run and buy one. And also, if I were to like receive this from my workplace, I would be very happy with this, because it works perfectly well for office work and such, and also gaming at night. So I hope you find this review here a little bit useful if you actually were to look into buying this monitor. I wouldn't really expect any of the few subscribers I have to like have any really too much interest in this video here.